said something beyond that. He said that this would be a continuous process. Dialogue is very important between the people and the government. It's important for you to know where the shoe pinches and for you to create policies that resolve those issues, because nobody knows better than the wearer of the shoe. So an important mechanism for developing policies to resolve issues is continuous dialogue, not one-off, not just before an election, but a continuous process. And if you look at the calendar of activities for the campaign team, you see that there are a lot of town halls dotted across all geographical zones of the country, and that is to get a feel, get a pulse, and I believe it's something that is going to be a continuous process. And whenever I speak about Asuquo Tinubu, I like to come back to Lagos and see what was done in Lagos, what is the Lagos state government style, and you see that the Lagos state government has a style of continuous dialogue and town halls, not just before elections, but during the course of the administration.
Right.
Okay, so I love that, you keep bringing the examples back to Lagos, but when we see Nigeria, Nigeria is much more than Lagos. Let's take example of the diversification into agriculture by the Buhari.
Sorry, my reason for doing that is track record.
No, I totally understand.
That's where the leader has served.
I completely understand. Okay. So this question is not to attack that. It's just to, to see in broader perspective what this kind of policies or what problems they can have nationally. So, for instance, the diversion into agriculture by President Muhammadu Buhari's administration is laudable if you look at what he's been able to achieve across board. But the setbacks every time is security. So, for every 10 steps taken, 10 steps backwards when it comes to security. For instance, rice farming and all of that, they had results. But then, insecurity now flood. What exactly would you say that the Tinubu Shettima administration would do if they get in power nationally for farmers, for instance, and how would they take care of these issues that drew Buhari's administration backwards?
Thank you very much. I think one of the ways to further strengthen our farmers would be the introduction of regional commodity exchanges. They can serve as silos. They can concurrently run a warehouse receipting system. This will give farmers in rural areas and regional areas better value for money in terms of their commodities, in terms of getting their commodities from the farm to the markets. Beyond that, when you talk about the farmers and the insecurity that, we need to get the farmers back to the farm, and that is by providing better security. And I said this yesterday on the show. I said security is three things, and the administration has articulated it and is resolved to provide those things. And that is people, ensuring that under people, recruiting people into the service, into the security services. The second issue is on equipment, and on that, the administration is resolved to provide the best equipment, from tactical gear to aerial surveillance, to ground surveillance, to monitor, track insurgents and the agents of insecurity. But beyond that, skills acquisition for our military personnel to be able to engage and resolve issues of insecurity.
Okay. So I wanted to go into, this is a women's show, and it would just not...
Very outnumbered.
Yes. It would just not be right for us to talk about the gender aspect of this at the campaign. What is the plan concerning, what's the gender plan for the campaign going
on? I think to answer that, I'm not just going to give you some policy statement. I may come back to that, but I'd like to just cast your mind back to Tuesday during the town hall. Apart from...
4 women, I counted.
Yeah, but apart from the two candidates on the table, on the Q&A panel, the presidential candidate and the vice presidential candidate, there were 9 other people, 4 ladies, 5 guys. As a matter of fact, you can add a 0.5 to the ladies because they were more eloquent and more graceful than all 5 of us combined. So when you look at that, that's half, that's 50% representation. But I can assure you from the policy and from, the track record, Asuquo Tinubu Shettima-led administration will ensure a minimum of 35%. But you can see they are beating that already, 50%. And I don't think there's any other candidate that is anywhere near that ballpark figure.
Okay, we have to wrap up with you. But there are people out there they're trying to understand your candidate. You know, many of them hear about his track record in Lagos and what people have said, good and the bad. You worked with him, or you're working with him. Could you, in your own personal view, tell us about him, about the vice president, your own personal view about their work ethic,